Hey fam, this is James. I just felt compelled to make a quick video, um, just to talk about some of the things that happened. I went to the Civic Center again yesterday, just to grab some food, and the negative entities have picked up, the pace a little bit. I recently got divorced from the Priel family. My controller was Ethan Priel. He's an Israeli Ashkenazi Jew, and sent him an email and said, just let you know I signed the paperwork. I'm divorced. I'm no longer connected to you. Basically, we won. Thank you. Go away. Please stop harassing me. Unfortunately, uh, they don't listen to things like that because they're demons. Um, they're the jinn, and so they believe that they own you. They believe that they're superior and all this other stuff, and so they use all sorts of technology and things. Anyway, so I have started to receive increased amounts of harassment, and now it's from their agents. They're little agents that run around, and the children or whoever they are. And a lot of them are Asian, which is really kind of strange. I wouldn't have expected that, but I get daily harassed by this Asian guy from the park. I'll take a picture of him if I go there tomorrow. Asian guy where, well, he looks like he's homeless, but he does this thing where, just like the rest of them, they like to line up their heads with you, and just follow you around generally. And that's what he's been doing, and just harassing. And so yesterday was interesting because, I kind of kept getting harassed, and they kept trying to put feelings into me of sadness, and then shaming, and then other really negative aspects of their personality. Just really just anger, trying to question the creator. They have this issue with thinking that they're the creator, they're superior, or I don't know what the issue is. But I generally just ask the question. So, in the end, where do you get your power from? Where do you get your knowledge from? I'm sure you just didn't. It just didn't just appear. And they don't answer that type of question because they already know the truth. Um, and the reality is that they just don't want me as a black man coming into my power. Some people call it godlike. I think because we have a spark of the creator um, inside of us, it's definitely a substantial, um, thing that can turn you into um, quite the being. Um, and you know these entities don't want you to realize your power because they've been manipulating things for so long, and you're basically like their little energy battery. And so once you realize that you don't have to be that way, you don't have to be their sexual, their pathway to sex. That's another issue I've been dealing with. They keep trying to reset my brain and steal my ability to have an orgasm. Not only that, they couple that with some type of nanotechnology which shoots these like little microscopic needles into your sensory neurons in your penis. And so they don't just invade your mind; they invade every part of you, and without your consent. And that's one of the reasons why this divorce is so meaningful to me, because I really just I want to get that part of reality away from me, um, that part of insane psychopathic behavior. And if you watch these videos of these psychopaths, um, it's really kind of sad. It's really just a sadness that they don't have emotional connections to people, and so they have to use you for what they want. And a lot of times, what they want is love. but they misinterpret it as sex or control or whatever the case may be. And so they spend their entire lives trying to get that feeling, and they don't care how they do it. And they don't care if they mess up your lives. Again, they don't. Everything relates to them. I mean, I've had a mother that was an extreme narcissist, and so, you could be in the hospital bed, and she would be in your face talking about herself and everything that's going great in her life, and completely ignoring that you might be sick or injured or just I've been a part of that reality where they don't care. Um, and having to deal with that on a daily basis is very difficult, especially if you're a person who does care because they're trying to infect you. Basically, they're trying to make you like them, and it's a very sad thing, and it's basically a disconnect from creation. It's a disconnect from nature. It's a disconnect from life. That's why you see. That's why you can see all these people just literally murdering animals and murdering people, and destroying their environment, destroying people's lives for money. Because money is really just a fake object. Because if you know anything about the Federal Reserve, they just print money with interest, and then force us to use it with interest. So they really don't care about you or about anything. And so, I know that there's a great many of them that are white and Asian and whatever. And I have the just I'm just not interested in being caught up in their system again. Um, and they'll pose the question, and they keep trying to push white people on me, white women. And I already understand the argument and what they're trying to do, especially when it comes to black women and queens, um, and where they're trying to go with black men and with society. And I won't stand for it, and that's not something that's going to be a part of my life. And they get very angry about that. They get very angry that you're not following their plan, to destroy um, our genes, our genetic code, our connection. They get very angry, and unfortunately, they use technology against you. Um, as of an hour ago, there's been someone placed something inside of this room. It was like some type of bug that just would chirp nonstop at high pitched intervals, um, nonstop all night long for 2 days. And so I decided to move stuff around, and I finally found it. It sounded like a grasshopper, but it wasn't. It's like this little tiny earwig looking thing, and it ran off, and it's the chirping has stopped. So they use technology against you, to hurt you. And I noticed that when you try to, like, for me personally, I'll masturbate, and I try to have an orgasm, and whatever technologies that they used or whatever that they did, stealing or numbing you so that you don't have one is basically the goal. And you have to sit down and question, and really just take a breather when you sit down and realize that there are entities that are literally trying to stop you from enjoying your body and your mind and your soul and your connection. And this feeling, they don't want you to have it. And you have to really, I mean, it's just, for me, it's really just a very troubling and sad scenario where these beings are trying to stop you from connecting, and in every way possible. And they don't care if they have to invade your body, steal your soul, reset your mind, kill your family. They don't care. And it's very reminiscent of what these psychopaths do, um, to get their way. And all they're doing is fighting each other. And the reality is that, they want to come along also. Now that things are kind of speeding up, they realize that their fate seems to be already determined in some way. And now they're trying to get on board the ship, especially from the dream I had where Ethan was trying to sneak through with children in his hand, but he's a psychopath, so he doesn't care about anybody anyway. Only cares about his own life. And so I see that coming, where a lot of them are going to just try to fake it till they make it, but they're not going to make it. They're going to be staying. And, you know, just we're going to, just if you can identify them, go for it. Try to kick them out of your lives, because they invade. They just want to invade, and like a parasite, attach themselves onto you, and it's very difficult to remove them. And I'm going through the removal process, and the entity is very adamant about staying around, um, and it's petty and it's vindictive at the same time. And again, it's coupled with AI, it's coupled with humans, it's coupled with jinn and their children. Um, and strange operations. I mean, you would never imagine some of the things that go on. Um, so this is just another video, just stating that, you know, we have to be strong, and, and just deal with these negative entities that use mind control. Some of them are talking to me right now. Um, and I don't know how they communicate. It's probably through some electromagnetic waves, and also through the veil. Um, they kind of bypass, and this is another interesting thing that they do. They like to bypass what you say, as if they turn down what you say and ignore you, and just keep going on with their program, which can be frustrating, but at the same time, you can ignore them. And to me, I was just laughing yesterday about the situation, and like kind of laughing that they're just they're being stupid, and annoying me to death. And again, I posed the question, where do you get your power from? Can you answer that? Where do you get your knowledge from? And lo and behold, this happens to me sometimes. Right behind me, an accident happens, a huge accident. Um, and yes, they have the power and the ability to cause accidents. Maybe it's a stress reliever. Maybe they're trying to scare you. I don't know. But in the last like month, two accidents have happened right next to me. Usually at a 7-Eleven, which is kind of funny. um, but I hear the screeching, and then boom, and it usually happens right when they're very frustrated with something. They can't get something done. They haven't been able to get their point across, or their agenda, or whatever the case may be. And so they act out, and it's very childlike behavior, and then they end up hurting people. Again, because they're psychopaths. They don't care about hurting people. And maybe some of the people that they're hurting are robots or robotoids, or part of their own crew. I don't know. Um, but they do it. And, I pray for the day that they no longer empower. They no longer have any type of, um, ability to affect our lives, and to infiltrate and to use us in ways that we would never agree to in the first place. I think that day is coming, and it is a great rejoicing, because it means that we will never have to be with them again. And that's a beautiful thing, I think, especially for what we've been through and what we've dealt with. It's a very beautiful thing to be able to move on, and enjoy in peace and happiness, and never have to worry about them again. Anyway, I just want to say amen, and thank you to the Creator for giving us this love and this life to experience. And some of us are ready to get out of here. But there's a time and place for everything. And amen.